Hello everyone and welcome back to Happy Farm Life. My name is Sierra Richard. I am a pharmacist dedicated to helping you live a happy, healthier life. And I'm so excited today because I'm doing a video about my first job after residency. I officially have a clinical pharmacist job. I am incredibly excited about this opportunity and I wanted to share with you guys my story and my journey of how I got here because it's a little crazy. And hopefully for those of you who are looking for jobs, this will help you because I'm going to give you some tips along the way. So first I want to start by saying I went into my first year of residency thinking I wanted to do a second year. I did my residency at a pediatric hospital because I loved pediatrics and I still do. But long story short, my husband stayed in Missouri for his job purposes and I went to Texas for residency and he never made it down there. So knowing that we were going to be apart for another year, I did go to mid-year and talk to programs about PGY1, but the whole time it just felt wrong and I didn't want to do it. So I decided against it and to look for jobs. That's a very simple way of putting it because it was an extremely painful process to get to the point where I was okay with not doing a second year of residency because I feel like a lot of times people make you feel like you have to do that to get where you're wanting to go in your career. And I had a lot of really deep heart-to-heart discussions with my mentors that were at my residency program as well as those that were not, that were from my time in pharmacy school. And I think that that really helped having like the different perspectives. So instead I actually applied for a fellowship in association management that was closer to my husband, and that was in February. And then we all know what happened in March. So basically a lot of jobs were closing. I was kind of keeping an eye on other things in case the fellowship didn't work out for me. And I got a call in the end of April letting me know that I had been selected for the position for the fellowship, but they decided to cut it because of everything that was going on and they didn't want to keep it in their budget due to the uncertainty in all of their income at the time. So I lost the fellowship because of all the craziness that was happening. And I'm gonna be honest, I was a little lost after that because I was really hoping for that. That was an opportunity to get back to my husband, do something I really enjoyed, and it just didn't work out. So I started looking for other jobs. So there wasn't a lot of people hiring because of everything going on, and they weren't hiring any healthcare providers at that time because we weren't doing elective surgeries. And I'm gonna be honest, it was a little scary. But from the fellowship application, I actually got in contact with a job opening. So that's one of my points, is just throughout this, you can hear that networking is the reason I have the job I have today. She actually connected me with a job opening. I took a cold call the next day after she connected me with him. And basically it was like a mini interview and I got an in-person interview and I went. The good thing about that was it was the first time I had had the opportunity to see my husband in like almost 4 months because of the travel restrictions that were put in place. So it was so nice to see him. The job opportunity also was really great, but it just wasn't for me. It was like a retail pharmacy that was looking to expand clinical services. I think that that was a really cool opportunity for somebody, but the whole time I just felt, oh my God, it was not for me. So I emailed them afterwards and thanked them for the opportunity and just passed. And that was a super hard decision to make because that had been the only job I had seen open in weeks. And when I did that, it was like the 3rd week of May. So I was getting really close to the end of residency and just had 0 leads. But I felt like it was the right thing to do. Like I said, it would have been a great job opportunity, but it just didn't seem right for me. So basically from there, I just looked at a bunch of job openings in various settings that I thought maybe would fit in my realm of expertise. I started looking at, I don't know, odd jobs, things I could do online, medical writing, if there was anybody looking for a professor for maybe a nursing school or something in pharmacology because I'm trained to do that. I mean, I was looking at all kinds of weird jobs for pharmacists. So there's a lot out there and there's a lot of good resources if you're, trying to figure that out too. But I did all of that and I put my application in for some things and nothing came through. So now it's mid-June and I actually got a message from my old boss. So I was a pharmacy intern at a women's and children's hospital for 3.5 years during pharmacy school. Her, as well as 3 other pharmacists that I used to work with, messaged me because they had 2 job openings that had just gotten approved. The job rec wasn't even up yet, and they wanted to let me know if I was still looking for something. Obviously I was, and I was just so excited because this was the first lead I felt good about, and I knew that even though I'd worked there, I was gonna still have to work really hard on that resume and my interview and make sure everything was spot on, but this is a place I wanted to work. I had loved my time working there. People I worked with were amazing. The culture and environment of that pharmacy department was amazing, and I just really wanted to be a part of it. The application opened like 2 days later. I got my application in a couple of hours. So another thing I recommend for you guys is make sure you're keeping up with your CV throughout the year. That way, when something does come up, you can just put your application in, as well as having somebody who can get back to you quickly for a cover letter. So I am lucky. My dad is actually in healthcare as well, and he's a good writer, so I can have him read my stuff. But you can have friends or coworkers, somebody who knows you and also knows the pharmacy or healthcare profession should read it before you submit it, just to make sure there's not any typos. I did have one minor thing that he had me change, and then I sent it off, like I said, really quickly. So 2 weeks later, it was the day before the end of residency, I got a call back from them for an interview the next day. So I interviewed on my last day of residency, and that was a really quick turnaround. So I spent like all evening, I was supposed to be packing, I was interview prepping. I had to go dig my suit out of my suitcase because I had packed it because I just assumed like I'm leaving in 2 days. I haven't heard anything. I'm not going to interview tomorrow. Just kidding. I did an hour-long online like Zoom interview, which was relatively awkward, but it was also really good to see the people that I had worked with and really loved to work with again. And it kind of reconfirmed that this job would be amazing and I would be so happy there. So there's actually 2 positions open. One was a day shift clinical pharmacist position and one was an overnight 7-on, 7-off clinical pharmacist position. I did apply for both of them because I was open to either one. I liked both of them for different reasons. So yeah, I interviewed, and 2 weeks later I got a call from them after my interview that I had gotten the overnight clinical pharmacist position. So I'll be doing 7 days straight of working. I think they're like 11-hour shifts, and then I'll have 7 days off. So it'll be really exciting because during the 7 days off, I will be doing content for you guys. And now I'm back with my husband, back close home to family, and I'm just so excited. This job is really cool because I get to do pediatric and women's health. So we do labor and delivery and maternal care at the hospital I'm at. And so I get to do some fetal medicine as well, which is something I didn't get to do any at a children's only facility, which is where I did residency. So I'm excited to get back to doing that because while I loved pediatrics, I also liked the maternal side of things. So I'm really happy I get to do that again. The other awesome thing about this position, and one of the reasons I was really okay with doing overnights, is that this place actually has 24/7 clinical services. So I'll still be doing drug level monitoring for patients in the middle of the night, helping with the antimicrobial stewardship programming, attending codes, and just verifying orders and whatever else comes up. So overall, my tips, if you didn't get that from this video so far, is to network like crazy when you're in school. Every single lead I had on a job has come from my networking and being involved in organizations in school. If I hadn't done that, it would have never come to this. Another big thing is just keeping in touch with the people that you did network with in school. So I got messages from so many people where I worked because I kept in touch with them after I left, mainly because they were great mentors and I wanted to continue that, and I became friends with them and I really appreciated all their help, which is why I'm very excited to work with them again and have them as mentors. My next one is that if one door closes, that means something else will open. I could have been even more bummed out about the fact that I didn't get that fellowship, but now I'm in a much better position than I think the fellowship would have put me in after this next year. So it was 100% the best thing for me. And I am glad it happened now. I know in the time I was not happy, but I'm so happy it happened now. Next one is just like a little tidbit, but 5 references, guys. Most jobs will require at least 3, which is what is required to apply for residency, but several of the jobs I applied for wanted at least 5 references and 2 to be managers. So keep that in mind. Have 5 people kind of in your back pocket that you've talked to that you can just follow up with quickly once you have a job that you're actually applying for. Another thing you should do if you can is to update your CV as you go. I know that this is like a super hard thing to do, but if you can, just as you're going throughout the year, just refine your CV, add that presentation, add that community service, whatever you're doing. It's a lot easier to do that than backtrack. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm super excited for the next chapter in my life and to have more time to be able to create content for you guys. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I have a lot of awesome things coming your way, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Real talk. Did you guys see this fly? It would not leave me alone.